We just pulled this wedding together in like 6 hours with no prep time.
Oh, you'll understand just fine once you meet your good old grandpa. Where's Bo?
Oh, here he is.
Hey.
Hey.
Where have you been?
How you doing, Drew?
Hey, Nora's been worried about you.
I'm not so sure I can go to this.
To the wedding? Bo?
No, honey, I've got about 1,000,000 different things I've got to take
So
care
delegate
of.
some authority, some responsibility.
It's not like we got a lot of advance notice.
Or any excuses. This is your father's wedding. Again.
I'm trying to find a guy that almost blew him to kingdom come.
Look, this is very important to your father, and you know, he will expect for you to be there.
I'll be right back.
What are you doing, Bo? 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 Bo?
Do you believe this? There he goes again.
I can't take any more of this hanging around doing nothing. I have an idea how we can prove that Carlo Hester and Poseidon are the same person. Do you want to hear it?
This is a nice piece on family loyalty, Clint. Putting the Buchanan tanker oil spill in the front page.
You think you're exempt from news coverage, Paul?
It's not even off U.S. shores, for crying out loud. It's France.
It's a major environmental disaster. And you know that I can't act like it isn't going on just because the company it happened to has the name Buchanan in it.
You know, this is supposed to be my wedding day. I need the support of my family. I need my sons to circle the wagons and cover the old man's back. Instead, one's AWOL, the other's acting like a Judas.
Oh, way to stay with the facts. Look, Paul, under the circumstances, wouldn't it make a lot of sense to just postpone the wedding?
No, not on your life. After tonight, Alex is going to be all mine.
Carlo.
Hello, my sleeping beauty.
What are you doing here?
I go where my love leads me.
You have to go right out the door. Nigel is trying to get the plane ready for us to leave. I'm going home to marry Asa tonight. No, Carla, please stop right here now. You gave up your claim on me. I'm no longer your wife.
Forbidden fruit. So much more delicious for being taboo.
Obviously, you can't forgive Maggie. You don't understand her, and you won't love her. So why don't you do the very least you can do, which is get out of her life and let her live in peace?
Max, it's okay. My father's just here to...
Maggie, I see you still have a staunch advocate in Mr. Holden, was it? I presume you've told him of your covenant with God. Or are you hedging your bets? Keeping a panting dog lurking in the shadows?
You know something, Dad? That was really uncalled for. Max, it's all right, all right? I'm not crying because of him. I'm crying because I'm emotional, and I hate it when I get like this, but this is how I get when I get this way, so don't be upset, okay? My father and I, we're talking. We're trying to understand each other and forgive each other, right, Dad?
Maggie was just explaining to me that she's in the process of becoming a nun. This comes as a great shock to me. Perhaps not to you. Maybe you knew from the start.
Not from the start, not quite. And it was a shock for me, too. But I respect her choice.
Ah, yes, I remember you now. That unfortunate incident in the country club bar. You seemed quite taken with my daughter's charms. Frankly, I'm a little surprised you'd still come calling, knowing of Maggie's chaste intentions. I mean, what's in it for a man such as yourself?
Friendship. I come calling because I value Maggie's friendship. I come calling because I learned more about guts and commitment, strength of character and will from Maggie than I would ever learn in 100 sermons by you.
Okay, Sherlock, you got a way to prove that Carlo is Poseidon. I do want to hear that. Just give me 1 minute, okay? Just, honey, I think you better go on without me.
Well, this is a command performance.
I just have to talk to Patrick for a few minutes.
He's going to be very angry if you wander in late.
I'll meet you two there, okay? Besides, what kind of themes is this one going to be? What is it, Napoleon and Josephine or something?
God. The last wedding was, well, Alex did a recreation of an old, ancient, royal Egyptian wedding. It was in Central Park, and it came complete with barges and slaves. Only your grandfather showed up looking more like Marshall Dillon. It was sort of a Nefertiti meets Maverick kind of thing.
It was ridiculous, is what it was. It was gaudy. But look who we're talking about.
I think it sounds cool. If you're going to do it, you might as well do it right. Besides, didn't you guys boogie down the aisle to Little Richard singing Good Golly, Miss Molly?
Is taking out the competition?
But you mean this puff piece you wrote on Carlo Hesser? I don't think that's competition.
I don't think it's a puff piece.
Come on, Cassie. I thought you were a real journalist. This reads like Hesser hired some PR person to write it for him.
You know, it's pathetic how jealous you are, Kevin. I mean, what's the matter? You don't like being scooped, especially by a woman?
Please. You're much too smart to get into a challenge like that. And you're way too smart to be playing into Hesser's hands like this. All right. A new man. The byline's okay, but come on, Cassie, this guy's a shark.
What's your point?
Why are you and Blair giving him free publicity when you should be printing the cold, hard facts? That he's an extortionist, that he's a thief, and that he's a murderer.
Lisa has you for the rest of his life. Can't we have one last moment together? While you're still free.
But I'm not free.
Let it ring.
Oh, my God. Hello? Asa.
Aha, you do remember my name.
Of course I do.
Do you know how to get here? You're late.
I know, darling. I've been packing, sweetheart, and my divorce from Carlo is final, and I'm on my way home to you.
Oh, about time.
Is everything ready for the wedding?
What the hell's the matter with you, Alex? Are you sick or something?
Asa, darling, I'm sorry. I've just been feeling a little faint because of the heat and the humidity down here. I am on my way back home to you, though, darling, and I'll feel much better when I'm back in your arms. So you have got everything organized for the wedding, haven't you?
Of course I have. I built an empire, didn't I? You don't think I can organize a simple ceremony?
Has my soup been delivered? What about the flowers? And the cake? Now, did you actually look at the cake, sweetheart? Good. Is everyone coming? The whole family?
Yes, they'll be there. Everything's ready, everything. Now stop with the questions, get on the plane. The only thing missing from this wedding is the bride.
Absolutely, darling.
Where's Nigel? He's supposed to be keeping you on schedule.
Nigel, I actually don't know where Nigel is.
Nigel dropped a note. You gotta get back to Hellbase.
I'm sorry, sir, but you're under arrest.
Yes, sir.
That's what would... how much charge?
I'm possessing and storing artifacts.
you have been looting our ancient burial sites.
What? No, I've not even sightseeing. You know, I'm British. I avoid the sun at all costs. I said, do you mind?
Ah.
That's not mine. That's...
No such articles, eh?
Oh, wait a moment. No, I'd like to speak to British consulate. No,
I love you too, Asa. Please, Carlo, I don't want to do this. I don't.
Oh, my beloved. I think you do.
What I meant to say is that I forgot.
Fine, go ahead. Have your meeting with Patrick, but don't you be late. Drew and I don't want to be there without protection.
His work really is everything to him, isn't it?
It's not just his work. Bo's right, and Carlo Hesser did try to kill Asa. Well, you can best believe he's gonna try again. Come on.
What is it that you don't get, Cassie? The guy's evil.
And the world doesn't profit from the scrutiny of evil minds. Besides, to know evil isn't to be evil. Come on, Kevin. We don't even know who Carlo Hesser is these days. He's undergone an enormous conversion.
Ooh, conversion. Spoken like the rector's wife.
Oh, watch your lip there, Buchanan. Just because I'm Andrew's wife doesn't mean I'm some kind of Pollyanna two-shoes, okay?
You say so.
Yes, I do. I did not promise to love, honor, cherish, and surrender all my critical faculties.
So, how does Andrew feel about your new job with the Sun?
Andrew knows that his work and mine are very different.
In other words, he hates it.
Well, hello, Vicky, please. Come on in. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Is this a bad time?
No, it's fine. Let me take your coat.
Thank you.
Is there anything that I can get you at all?
Oh, no, thank you. Have you and Cassie managed to talk things out?
Oh, sure. Yeah, we talked. It's fine.
I know that things were quite tense between you.
Please, sit down. Please. I mean, to be honest with you, I'm not what you would call totally thrilled with some of her career choices lately. You know, moving over to the Sun and writing articles about men like Carlo Hesser.
Well, Andrew, he's news.
Did you read this article?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this article is filled with nothing but self-serving tripe. Cliches about the meaning of life and how he's turned his life around.
But, Andrew, they're not Cassie's cliches. She's just quoting Carlo Hesser. And we both know that when people resort to cliches, they're generally covering something up.
Which is exactly my point. I don't believe this conversion for 1 minute. There's this so-called gangster to good guy. Come on. Next thing he'll be saying that he's Saul of Tarsus, and we should all start calling him St. Paul.
At least it wouldn't be a cliche.
True. No, I guess what's really bothering me is that the man's crimes are selling newspapers and Cassie's glossing over everything. We know this man. This man is a gangster. This man is a miserable excuse for a human being. This man has ordered killings as easily as he would order a good meal at a restaurant.
Don't be so hard on Cassie. I mean, this is, after all, just the first installment in a series of articles. There might be a method to her madness, you know? She might just be giving him enough rope to hang himself.
You might be right. I can't even discuss this with her.
Why not?
The minute I bring up anything even remotely related to career, it is like somebody throws a stick of dynamite in the room. There is an explosion. She disappears. I got to figure the whole thing out on my own. It just scares me, that's all. I want to thank you for stopping by to console me. I am sorry. Why did you stop by to see your priest?
Oh, I guess because I've been kind of feeling the way you just described, you know. Except about everyone. Seems I woke up from this nightmare of my own troubles to discover that all the constants in my life are changed. Clint has moved on. I mean, he's found someone else. That's good, you know. My formerly angelic daughter is now rebellious and very angry.
In other words?
It seems like the world has just moved on and left me behind.
Sir, your daughter has been through a whole lot of pain in her life. Just ask her, and she will tell you that she has caused a lot of pain herself, especially to you. But her faith has been a true calling for her, a gift to her. She's changing her whole life. She is making the courageous choice.
So you're ready to believe this girl when she tells you she's willing to give up men for life?
I'd be lying if I didn't tell you that I was skeptical about what this woman told me. But where's the sacrifice if Maggie says she's going to give up eating worms? It's what she's giving up that proves her faith.
He makes a good point.
Yes, he does, Dad.
Maggie, I'll try to accept your choice. But please, you must promise me.
You want me to keep my mouth shut about this?
Yes.
It's a professional embarrassment. You know how it is, Episcopalian, Catholic, oil, water. I'll make you a deal, Dad.
A deal?
Yeah, I'll keep my mouth shut about this big scandal until I take my final vows, if you agree to come and celebrate them with me.
Well, I'll have to see what my schedule is like when the time comes. Okay?
I guess that's the best I can ask for. Okay.
Mr. Holden.
Bishop?
Bye, Dad.
Shut you again, huh?
No, he didn't. You did. Today's my wedding day, but not to you. Oh, God, what have I done?
Oh, my love. You did nothing more than you wanted to. Or needed to. Now to reality. You've got to get back to your expectant husband.
Now, let me give you a Texas welcome.
All right. But am I going to call you Asa or Gramps?
You call me anything you want. Make sure you add sir every once in a while. And respect all the time, you hear? Don't take after that father of yours. He does not know the meaning of the word respect.
Yes, sir.
And that one, too. No respect. Let me give you the grand tour. You see that chair over there? $3,000. $500 bribe to get out of Egypt. That rock, 6,000 bucks.
Isn't it grand, Clint? Another wedding.
You kid, get a grip. You've been lecturing me about this nun stuff for weeks now. I think I was too dumb to soak up a few details.
I just never thought for a second that you were actually listening to me.
I didn't miss a word.
Well, it's a good thing you came when you did, because I wasn't going so great with the bishop.
What was the worst part? Well, let me guess. It had to be when you said, I'm sorry.
I hate having to do that.
Mm-hmm. And then what?
You won't laugh. I told him that, and I meant it. I forgive him. That was my assignment, and I always do my homework. I didn't say I have always done my homework. I just thought that if I told him out loud, you know, that everything would be okay. And he would hug me like he did when I was a kid, before everything got all messed up. And he would just tell me that he was really proud of me for turning my life around. Oh, it's a nice pipe dream.
Can't always get what you want. Can you?
See, Jessica is so sure that she's deeply, truly, permanently in love with Christian Vega, you know. All she does is fight with me. She fights with Clint. I barely recognize her half the time.
But she's still the girl that you raised. And I'm not making light of what you're going through with her. It's tough. But you and Clint laid a fantastic foundation for Jessica. She's a tremendous kid. She has a great sense of herself and where she fits in the world. I really believe that this is just part of a separation process, and it is all going to work out in the end.
A phase she's going through, right? My old college sociology professor, boy, I haven't thought about him in years. He used to say, nothing is ever always. Oh, we thought that was so cute. And now, here we are. My boys, they're men, you know. They're all grown up. They have lives of their own. As far as my daughter's concerned, I'm totally irrelevant. Clint has moved on, as I said, and Sloan is gone. I don't know, everybody seems to have changed except me.
You don't really believe that, do you?
No, I probably don't, but it does feel that way.
Then I'm going to have to remind you of something. I'm going to have to remind you that you fought demons. Daunting opponents. You won. You got your life back. You got a whole new life in the bargain. You're not alone. You're not irrelevant. Vicky, you are certainly not unloved. The feelings will pass.
Yeah? When? Thank you. Thank you, Andrew.
Excuse me.
Andrew.
Uncle John.
I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm very sorry.
My goodness.
Well, I guess there's no time like the present. It's about time you met your sister-in-law. This is Vicky Carpenter, John Carpenter.
How do you do?
How do you do? Strange meeting now, isn't it, after all that's happened?
Mm-hmm.
It's both a great pleasure and a sad occasion. Vicky, I'm so sorry about Sloan.
Andrew doesn't hate the fact that I begun working at the Sun. He's a wonderful husband. He knows that I need to have my own career. Would you please wipe that smirk off your face?
Well, then I'd say you're a very lucky woman to have a husband who's understanding like that. So, what are you going to be doing later while Andrew officiates my grandfather's 416th wedding?
I'm meeting Blair and my mother and Kelly here. The old Kramer Coven are gathering to welcome my mother home from her cruise.
Quite a formidable quartet. You and Dorian and Blair and Kelly. And Andrew in the clutches of Asa and Alex. So who stays with River? I mean, I know Andrew's only going to be gone a short while. We have a sitter?
Yes? And Andrew has another wedding to perform, so Mrs. Brimmer will stay with River all evening.
It's tough on kids these days. Two career families just don't afford as much time with the children, do they?
Well, River is fine. He gets plenty of attention from Andrew and me.
All right, easy. I'm not trying to make you defensive.
I'm not defensive.
Yes, it's okay. I mean, don't all working mothers feel torn?
What's your point, Kevin? That I'm not a good mother because I work outside the home?
I didn't say that.
Well, what are you saying? There you are with that smirk again. No, Kevin, this is beginning to feel a lot like a game, and trust me, I'm not into it.
Well, it's not a game. I was just conducting an interview. Would you like to know what I learned?
Okay, then I'll be at my father's house. He's getting married again. No, just hold all calls unless it's an emergency, all right? Okay, thanks. Okay, let's get to it now. What is this brilliant plan to connect Carlo with Poseidon?
Democracy has some terrible disadvantages, doesn't it? Here we have a stone-cold killer running around by himself, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah, well, until we get some evidence. Now, what is the plan?
I want to break into Carlo's suite in the hotel. Come on, Bo. We're bound to find something that'll help us nail him to the wall.
Forget it. Just forget it. That would be breaking and entering. That would be illegal search and seizure. Anything that we did find would be inadmissible as evidence, not to mention the fact that Carlo could turn around, he could sue me, he could sue the police department, he could sue the city.
He'll never know that I was there, Bo. And then at least we know that Carlo Hesser is Poseidon. And who knows, maybe later on you can conduct a proper search.
Look, I know where you're coming from. I'm chomping at the bit, too. I can imagine that you're probably laying around and you're staring at the ceiling at night and you're thinking, why the heck did I even come back to land here? But that is not the way we're going to get Carlo. If we don't do everything by the book, and by that I mean the Constitution, the Pennsylvania rules of evidence, then we can kiss any chance of nailing Carlo goodbye.
Fine. How long do you think it's going to take before another bombing attempt, or an assassin's bullet, or a knife in the back? Yeah, we'll be kicking ourselves then if we don't stop him right now.
See you when you get here. Well, cord's up to his neck with reporters and stockholders and international disaster crews. So, needless to say, he's going to be late.
No, I don't think he's going to miss much. I don't see the wedding starting anytime soon, what with the bride missing and all.
This is 100-year-old bourbon, Drew. Take a sip. See? Age does have an advantage. That's very good. You look like you turned out to be a fine young man. What do you plan on doing with your life?
Well, I'd like to go to college, and I think Bo's going to pay for my tuition.
If Bo doesn't, I sure as hell will. There's plenty of money floating around with this family. Play your cards right, son. You can get rich, too.
And just why did someone have to play their cards right in order to take the rightful place in the family?
Did we ask for an opinion of a lawyer?
Drew's going to go to LU. That is, if we can get his transfer grades faxed to the admissions department tomorrow. And if they're good enough, he'll be all set.
Don't you worry. This boy will make us proud. Excuse us, Drew. Got to talk to Nora. Honey, where do you think we should stage the ceremony?
Hey, it's me. Oh, everything's going great. Everyone who dumped me before, they're all over me trying to make up for it. Yeah. Hey, listen, are you still dating, what's her name in the registrar's office? Oh, way to go, buddy. Listen, you think she'd change a few grades for me in the computer? If you asked her, right? No, not much. Just make a few D's become B's. Cause I can make out like a bandit here if I can get into the local university. It's just like I figured. They're so guilty about abandoning me, I can't do anything wrong.
So, my little intern, tell me what you learned from your little interview.
That you love your husband and your son very much.
Wow, now don't go out on a limb or anything.
Okay, all right. That part's obvious, I admit it. But you hate being the minister's wife. You're independent-minded, you're ambitious, but not ruthless, well, so far. And you're not suited to tea with the vestry ladies.
No, I'm more coffee and donuts at the office.
Right. And so, in reaction to your notorious mother, you are a good girl. And you don't like to be disliked by anybody for any reason. Well, let me tell you, you're gonna have to get over that if your career as scoop carpenter is gonna flourish. I mean, you may talk a good game, put up a good front, but the truth of the matter is, you have yet to confront your biggest dilemma.
What's that, hotshot?
Can you be a wife, and a good mother, and a great reporter all at the same time?
You know, I think the question is very obvious. How many working wives and mother don't think about that all the time?
So you're classifying yourself as average.
You know, for a heavyweight reporter, or at least someone who wants to be heavyweight, or at least a reporter, don't you think you should look past that superficial profile kind of stuff? Forget the statistical analysis and go for your instincts. Because if your little interview had been a real story, you would have missed the most important part.
And what might that be?
I'm not really that hungry.
Oh, trust Dr. Oltl. I'll have you scarfing down a healthy meal in no time at all. I hope. Oh, nothing like a good fight to work up an appetite, huh?
The sirloin sounds good.
I think it's the only thing I can pronounce. Make that 2 sirloins, please. Medium rare, medium rare, medium rare. Oh, God, love you. I think you need a celebration. And you know what? I can't think of a better location, a better libation for such an occasion. Boy, is that scary. To your triumph. You know, we've come full circle since the first time your father came to town and found us here.
Yeah, we're drinking the martinis instead of wearing them.
Well, now that you've fulfilled your mission, you know, forgiving your father, what next?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, mission accomplished with the old man, right? So, are you ready to take your final vows?
I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. And I'm sorry as well that I didn't come to Sloane's funeral.
That's all right. I apologize. I didn't mean to get all weepy on you. I guess it's meeting you, you know, just made me miss him more than usual.
And if I can apologize just once more, I know you must have thought it rude and uncaring of me not to be here for Sloane's recent memorial.
Oh, no, I understand. You had other considerations, you know. Although I bet Sloane was keeping score. No, I'm sorry. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not trying to make light of his death. You know, we joked a lot. When I first met him, he was terribly serious. I had to resort to drastic measures.
Well, I'm afraid that Uncle John here shares that seriousness flaw with my dad, you know.
Flaw?
Well, Bishop, it's not terminal. Sloane loosened up. I bet he's sitting up there on his perch up in heaven, and he's forgiving us our little holiday from duty.
No doubt about it. I got to tell you, you know, my dad and I had our share of troubles, you know, up until he met Vicky here.
I'll bet he's delighted that you and I have finally met. Well, if you are planning on staying in town, I hope that you will come and have dinner with my family and me sometime.
I'd like that. Andrew, I just came by to say hello. I had a little talk with Maggie.
Really?
Yes. I'll call you. Vicky, it was a pleasure to meet you after all this time.
Thank you so much. You too.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Don't worry about it. Boy, talking about having to deal with the past all at once. Huh? How are you doing? You okay? All right, look it. If you're heading over to Ace's wedding, I would love to give you a lift.
Well, thank you, Andrew, but I'm not going.
You're not? Why not?
Because I was not invited. I'm not a member of that family anymore, especially where Asa is concerned. Hey, as we said, things change.
Where in the Sam Hill is my wife?
It's wife-to-be.
Don't you start, latecomer.
At least I got here before the bride.
Alex hasn't called or anything.
No, she hasn't. I checked with the airport. The jet has landed. She should be here by now.
Well, I still don't understand how you got back here before I did.
Let's just say I've got a bigger jet. And getting a head start helped. There are several cars here already. You better hurry. Your guests are arriving.
Yes, I should go in.
The bride mustn't be late. She doesn't want to keep the groom waiting.
You know, Carla, you always say how much you like to tell me that you love me. If you really love me, you won't do anything to spoil this day. Please.
Well, why are you asking me about my vows? You trying to get rid of me or something?
No, not at all. I just don't know none time. You know, I'm not clear on these rules here.
Uh-huh. And is that why you showed up today exactly when you did? You want to know about nun time?
No. Actually, I came by for something much more important than that. Because, you know, I woke up this morning, I walked outside, and you know what? The smell of spring was in the air. Birds were singing. Bugs were flying. The smell of hickory as a hot fastball went flying past, burning it as it crossed the plate.
Baseball, it's opening game.
Yes, it is. And as I recall, you have 2 tickets to the opener.
Oh, I totally forgot.
Well, that's why I'm bringing it up. We had a date. Are you still keeping it?
Just tell me already. What minute vital detail did I leave out of my otherwise brilliant character assessment?
That I'm a Kramer, and we're a totally different breed. But hey, any reporter's bound to mess up from time to time, especially one that's not such a great judge of women.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. While you and the Sun are busy promoting Carlo Hesser, I plan on getting the real story for the banner.
Hey, open your eyes, Kevin. I'm the only one with the inside track. I'm the only one who can get close enough to Carlo to ferret out the truth.
Excuse me, but would you like to bet on that? Just between friends.
On rivals? You're on. First one to uncover Carlo's real reasons for coming to the Landview wins.
Deal.
I want your word that you won't do anything to spoil my wedding.
I count myself a lucky man to have the memory of this last time together. I'll miss you. But you will be with your true bridegroom tonight.
I would like someone to go out and try and find my wife. To be. Bo, please, shut up.
Paul, will you calm down before you give yourself another heart attack?
I'm taking bets here. Wedding or no wedding?
Oh, I married into this family. I've learned never count your unhatched chickens.
Oh, finally home at last. Hello.
Alex, where have you been?
You want me to tell you that now, or do you want me to go change?
I want you to tell me right now.
Well, I've been up in the air, and now my feet are on the ground, and I'm about to marry the man that I'm in love with.
Excellent. Is the demolition set? Good. RJ, make sure no one is hurt. The area has to be cleared of all personnel. This is between Asa and me. To you, Asa. I hear the sweet hammering of yet another nail in your coffin.
Oh.
Alex, honey, it's the second time we're getting married. And this time, by God, we're gonna stay married.